It's another beautiful Sunday night, and you have tuned into the right show. Let's be real. We're gonna keep it real with you tonight. And with me on this panel, we're gonna have an awesome discussion with one particular author who's always here, dressed in yellow. Her name is Maria. She is the author of Marriage is a Scam, which sometimes some of us who are unmarried actually believe. She is a married woman who knows everything about family. Maria is who we have on this panel. Nice to see you, Maria.
Thank you so much. You forgot to say beautiful.
Yes. She's also humble. And who else do we have on this panel?
And we have Dr. C, the beautiful Dr. C.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's a winemaker. Recently breeds flowers.
Ooh.
She's also into anything business. Like she's a business mogul. If you want to learn anything, just look for her. She's great, and we're happy to have her on the show. Sitting on the same panel with her is an honor.
Exactly, most definitely. You said business person, you know, she
Yeah,
sells.
she's a wine.
You guys who are thirsty.
You have to mention it by name, not just any other wine.
Yes.
It's Samantha's wine. And it's related to Samantha's bridal. You know, there are people who don't connect these two.
Ah.
Yeah, like Samantha wine, Samantha's bridal. Oh, it's the same company.
Exactly.
Yes.
And on that note, see, let me pour you a little bit right there.
Please do.
Yes, exactly.
Please do. As I introduce you. So Simon says, has been so real with us today. He has just declared, tutajua yeye ni nani. We will know who he is.
Exactly.
Now, apparently, he's a basketball coach.
Yes.
I just learned that. And that's so cool because sports is so important.
Exactly. It builds even camaraderie and even how team building and everything, working as a team. The key thing is learning how to impact people by bringing them together. That is the main thing. And speaking of a topic, you know you are also a topic. Dr. C, let's start with the first topic, guys, okay?
You are the topic.
Dr. C is actually a topic. Let me even give a little foreground before you go first, because you're the topic. So what happened was, earlier in The Art of Living, which is hosted here on KTN, in case you're not watching, you should be watching, because KTN is the only station that you should be locked into. What happened was, so she was there, in her living room. Just there, even you saw, sharing with us, Samantha's wife said, you know what, in my living room, we don't do poverty mindset. What are those? Who are those? We don't do those. Here, no. Woo! Now what happens, now she said, anybody who has a TV in the living room is a poverty mindset. Dr. C. Dr. C.
We want to
Dr. C.
I would love to.
I got so much slack on that. But there are a couple of people who actually agreed with me. And I've always told people that I am a tastemaker. I tell you guys what you're going to be wearing, how your parties are going to be looking like. Yes, I do. Yeah? And even how much you're going to be spending on those parties. I'm a tastemaker. Let's start there. Throughout. Okay? Now, yes, there's such a thing as poverty indicators and poverty mindsets.
Explain.
Okay, so let me start with the poverty indicators. So when you talk to Kenya Bureau of Statistics, when they go around and they're doing a census, there is how they classify homes. The number one indicator is, where is your TV? Now we're just talking indicators, yeah? Because they want to classify who is the middle class, who is the, they just really want to classify. Number one, if presence of one. Do you have a TV? Okay, that moves you to another group. So when you do have it, where is it? The fact that you have it in your living room means you don't have another room to put it. So meaning there's something about the size of your house. And the size of the house, meaning...
You're not rich.
Yes, literally. And one of the, yes, and before that, but there's such a thing as a mindset. I think so that elevated conversations should really take precedence. If you're having a family time, I think so that you should be engaging as a family and having conversations that are engaging and growing the family. Your friends are visiting you and you're having that conversation. Honestly, it's, and I'm saying this, I'm aware I'm saying it on a TV. I'm not saying don't watch TV. I'm just saying that going to a home or even in your own home and putting the TV there to make it the center of your conversations, I think first of all, it's just wrong. Plain wrong. Plain wrong, because of it does affect the quality of your conversations. I think TV is amazing. I watch TV. I even watch soap operas. I have a whole brand, Samantha's Bridal, is actually named after a lady I loved in a soap opera. I have nothing against TVs. But I just think so that you cannot come to my house and then we just switch on TV and we're just watching and we're not engaging. How have you been? So what are you working on? Those elevated conversations. But yeah, ask what you want to ask.
No, but wait, Maria, before even let me ask, let me just say, Maria, are you in a poverty mindset?
Is it poverty mindset or poverty in itself?
But go ahead.
I have a TV in my living room.
Yes.
So anyway, this is the point. I agree with her. But you know, the other thing that I came to realize is we may have beautiful big homes and have TV rooms, but we don't have time to stay in those houses to watch the TV.
Yeah.
We don't have time to stay in those houses to watch the TV. So you find that whether it's in the living room or it's in the TV room, I don't use it as much, except maybe the nannies and the children are the ones who are home to watch it when we are not there, because at that time you're not there. But that aside, in Kenya, 99.99% have TV in living rooms. And now we've actually advanced. We put one in the living room, one in the TV room, one in the bedroom, because it's actually a kind of an accessory.
But it's the same thing, sorry to interrupt, it's the same thing as, you know what they say, people who wear branded, you know, Louis Vuitton, Fenty, I don't know what, wearing all those, they want to look rich.
But
like, why would you just drench yourself in Versace, like drench, and big fat logos on you? Like, that's a poverty mindset. Another one.
No,
to want to look rich.
To look rich. What if you are rich because you look it? And that's the thing is, here's the issue I have even with your mindset. And I mean, here's the issue I have with it. The lack of a TV in your living room does not mean that you have any elevated conversations, because there are many people without TVs in the living room who pretend that they read and they have very foolish conversations. And that's also the truth. Just because you do not have it in your living room does not mean that you're having elevated conversations. And there's also time to even have foolish conversations. And the TV can also be a point at which you can actually have elevated conversations, because it's actually a conduit for a conversation, like you who's watching KTN Home right now, or even who's watching KTN and actually watching Let's Be Real, facilitating a conversation that you're probably having with those people that you're actually right there with, on the couch or even on the floor. Now, even the other thing I would even ask is this: are we supposed to now keep our TV in the toilet? Maybe we can have elevated conversations there, and then
what I'm just saying,
in the toilet
TV
now.
room. We are talking about we are talking about indicators. Indicators. Here's the other thing, yeah. When it comes to interior design, by the way, putting your sofa set on the wall is another indicator.
Putting your sofa set against
like
the wall?
against, completely against the wall.
Even the bed.
Yeah, now itabidi
so
ufanye bidii.
What you're
Hold
saying
on,
here
hold on.
is,
Okay, let me hear this.
These
Let me
are
hear who I
indicators.
am. Go ahead, continue.
These are indicators. These are indicators. Indicators. Like, honestly, when I see people drenched, like you want me to know you're wearing this brand. First of all, even when you're in Kenya here, you just completely look really poor, exactly, because if you are really rich in mindset, you'd be wearing a fat Kenyan brand.
Can I tell you the truth?
You would actually be like showing a Kenyan brand because you're building yourself.
But it works. It works.
It
works. It works. And here's the truth. The truth is this: people are drawn towards the appearance of credibility than the actual credibility. And sadly, the truth is this: if you don't shout about your credibility, you will actually be overshadowed with people who are less credible. That's why you shout at saying that indeed you're a wine connoisseur, not just any other ordinary wine. You have to profess and you shout it. And then people will say that wealth moves in silence. I don't need to shout my whatever. No.
The people who know.
Can I tell you something? And this is from experience. Let me first speak from experience. Let me tell you something. I once went to a school to talk to the principal. I used an Uber. Let me tell you, they just told me at the gate, Hayuko, and anything. The next time I went there driving, and they just opened the gate wide, like they did not even ask me where I'm going.
That's what I call a poverty mindset.
You understand? Face value still speaks in this country, and
Yes,
you cannot lie.
that's
Face
true.
value still speaks in this country.
So
And
it
that's
depends-
why
it depends on
someone
who
will be
you-
looking at you, and then they're like, they're judging you from everything head to toe. So you have to at least look the part for you to get even business. Now, Dr. C, before you speak, you are saying we will show you how poor you are. Is your bed at the corner of the bed?
I put it in the center. It's in the center.
It's the center.
The center of the room.
Okay. But you have the first to move. Is your son-
Actually, I put mine in a diagonal way because I wanted to have different mindsets. I literally did that. I'm true story, by the way. I literally moved my bed in a diagonal way just to see and feel. So like literally it's like a diagonal this way and then the door is there. True story, by the way. I'm not joking, but this is something I've done.
Is your sofa set on the wall?
Yes.
You're poor.
And
You are
yes.
poor. Me too.
No, I love it. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Do you have a TV in the living room?
Yes.
Me too. We are
Oh my
poor.
God.
I wouldn't call it living room. I don't spend
You're
much time
sacrificed.
there.
Oh my goodness. Itafanya
But here's the
itabidi
thing.
mfanye bidii.
But here's the question
But-
I have.
but-
Here's the
okay.
thing. No.
Mm.
Here's the question I have. Here's the thing I have. Even when it comes to even the poverty mindset, you're saying that even that can be the case. Perception, even about even how people may view as in riches and everything, will take you even places in which they make you even look as even be perceived as an influencer and someone even who's a formidable force, or even someone who should be respected within a certain category, even a certain field. That's why people will give credence to people who they perceive that they actually have authority in something just because they have seen them and because people attach things to success.
Yeah.
And if you automatically attach yourself to those things, the attribute that indeed Simon equates to success. And then you can leverage that perception to get you the actual success. And then you can actually...
So we have agreed.
Now, and the thing is,
This
there's
mindset-
power. Not even if there's power in it, you can take advantage of people who have that mindset and actually use it for your own leverage to actually even grow and actually even establish yourself. And there is nothing wrong with wearing branded items. It's how you walk in it. There are people who actually wear branded items, looks like even they're wearing you. And even it doesn't look like you're wearing even your own clothes. And there are people who just wonder like, that person even with the Gucci everything, they don't look like even that which is actually wearing them because they don't walk in the credibility in which that particular clothing even has. There are people who even wear fake jewelry, fake watch, but the way they'll strut that, even you know that it's real. That's why even I say it's more of, even if you have that, you walk even with that poverty mindset, you're appealing to the poverty. The poverty is the masses, and that's what politicians even know. Now,
Politicians actually need to know something about that. You know, I think it's a poverty mindset to go and give back in the United States of America.
Why do you say so?
That's a poverty. Why
It's
don't you
not.
build the hospital? No, build the hospital here.
Mm-hmm.
You see, mindsets actually cut across. Build the hospitals here, and then let us partake. Let us respect your leadership. I think those people look at you like you're the scum of the world. Like you have come with all the money taken from poor people, because that's at least what Trump thinks about us. Yeah. Or you're going to Europe buying these. That's why they even, by the way, we are really disrespected. You are taking stolen money, going to buy apartments, going to buy I don't know what, going to those because you want to look rich. That to them, like that's a mindset is a mindset, yeah? Going to have babies in the US is a poverty mindset.
To give birth to babies.
Pay our Kenyan doctors. Yeah.
But you
Going to give birth,
But
I mean.
they do that to get dual citizenship.
Yeah,
I
that's...
think.
But you know, it's okay to get dual citizenship.
So
that's the
Why don't we
advantage.
just build Kenya?
If we build Kenya, we will not get American citizenship.
No, who cares about American
That's what we are
citizenship?
trying
You
to
see, this
do.
is what I'm trying to say, and I'm trying to bring the point back home.
I
And
see.
I'm happy
I
that
see.
you have agreed with me.
I see.
Number one, I would be very happy if you're wearing a dress, plastered, or whatever, that is made in Kenya. I have a big problem that we are not buying Kenya, and we are busy trying to wear big, fat, all these brands,
Chanel,
building
whatever.
those brands. And I have nothing wrong with them. You're just trying to look rich because the rich people themselves actually don't wear those things and wear
Some
those
do.
brands.
But
No,
you know you
even
can-
the royal family, they will never wear anything branded.
That's wealth.
Yeah.
It's not rich.
So, yes.
Then
So
we're talking
what
about
I'm
rich, okay?
saying
That's
is
wealth, yeah.
at the expense of not buying Kenyan products. And I'm just saying that, yes, actually, if it's just by your, and by the way, a lot of people have written to me, have said, by the way, Dr. C, I didn't know. I have removed my TV from the from the living room. I've put it in the TV room. And half the time it's not about the size of the house. A lot of these people have TV rooms. Just they don't use it for TV. for family time. You understand?
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. But even what the reason why I would even say when it comes to the poverty mindset, you're talking about even clothes and branding, is that when it comes to the Kenyan aspect, let me speak on that, is that a lot of us Kenyans, even you know yourself, you don't value, us Kenyans, we don't have the self-pride of even speaking boldly about we are Kenyan.
Yes.
We actually would even now, we diminish ourselves. You see, the same way that a Nigerian would say we are Nigerians, and the same way a Kenyan would say they're Kenyan, it's not the same. It's not the same, sizzle. It's not the same because they diminish. Actually, seriously. They literally now diminish yourself. There is no need for you to be humble if you're a Kenyan. Speak more boldly about who you are as a Kenyan and walk out there boldly. Chest out. All right? Pointing forward. And you know that indeed, I am indeed a Kenyan. And indeed, I am proud to be a Kenyan. Hence now.
But we always wear the bracelets of Kenya.
That's there, yes, that's true.
We do that all the time.
But you know what else?
And we wear Masai shukas.
Can I even call out something else? Do you know, maybe you also see it in other aspects?
Yeah.
It's now the parents who actually don't even teach even their own kids, even their own native language.
Yeah.
And that is a Are we pointing fingers? We're not pointing fingers.
Why is your finger?
We're not pointing fingers.
No, let me tell you something.
Is that true, Dr. Sino?
My daughter actually can engage you in Isuka. And on that note, what I want to say is that you may have looked at my stories. I talked about a flower. I worked with a breeder to breed a flower in my brand name. So this was the thought process. Other than bragging rights and the money, I thought Kenya is the 4th biggest exporter of cut flowers, especially roses, in the whole world.
Yeah.
Why don't we have some of those flowers named after our parks, our animals? And I was going online. You can see a lot of people are reviewing. They're saying, oh, and this flower is called Samantha's Bridal, and this is how you can use it. Samantha is a quintessentially Kenyan brand, which I started like 20 years ago. Now, this is how we build strong Kenyan brands. We export. You know, there's this flower farm called David Austin. And a lot of people actually, a lot of flower farms grow it in Kenya. It's a British brand, okay? So why don't we have a Kenya, you know, those are the small little things we do to make us proudly Kenyan and stand on a world stage and talk our native language in our accents boldly, and like we are not giving, like we are here and we are Kenyan.
So can I breed mine? Like if I want to breed a flower, I can still breed.
Well, yeah, it involves quite a bit. Yeah.
It's okay.
Are you proud to be Kenyan?
Yes.
I'm proud to be Kenyan. The problem is, Simon, let me defend
How are we
myself.
Go ahead.
No, let me defend myself.
Okay.
This is the point. My children are half castes, Kikuyu and Kisii, and they are still young. A 3-year-old cannot learn 5 languages.
They can, up to 11 languages.
Let her finish. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But it's not, let me tell you something. This is a rich mindset now.
Okay, go ahead. What is the
Rich mindset is, I am willing to get trainers of all those languages for them to learn. See you here in 1 year.
Hey.
In 1 year, we are going to be discussing about all the languages
But
they
wait,
learn.
let me ask, even when you said even that's a poverty mindset. Now, when you said about even poverty mindset, because there must be a difference between a poverty mindset and also a rich mindset. But is every time unnecessary to have a rich, elevated conversations every time?
No.
Sometimes you need to have foolish conversations to be able to connect with people.
Poverty is poverty.
Because also, no. Here's the thing I have, Dr. C.
Poverty.
Dr. Listen carefully. Elevated conversations are not conversations that need to be had all the time. And if you're rigid to only having elevated conversations and you do not know how to actually mediate between elevated and normal conversations, you actually are rigid and actually a lack of mental fluidity. And hence you're not as intelligent as you think you are. Especially those people who actually think that they're all stuck up and I cannot have these conversations. You are the biggest fool and you're too foolish to even know it. And that's even the truth. When you're able to be fluid, in which I can actually be able to have an elevated conversation with Dr. C, and I can usually flip and have a non-essential poverty mindset conversation with someone else in the street. That is actually a very great sign of intelligence. So not every conversation
we will be engaging. You know,
elevated.
it's not about elevated conversations alone. It's about meaningful engagement as humans. And on that note, cheers. We will be back.
Welcome back to the show. The energetic, amazing, and a lot is happening today.
Here.
Yes, we are talking about the mindset. Anyway, let's talk about now the weight mindset. Jaw wiring was actually is dated back in the 1970s, but right now it's in Kenya. Young women are trying to lose weight, and the best way to do that they thought of is wearing their jaw. This is whereby when they wear their jaw, they'll just pull things through the straw.
You said wiring or wearing the jaw?
Wiring.
Oh, gosh. Okay,
Wiring.
wiring the jaw.
Wiring.
Let's say wire.
Wire.
These are elevated conversations. Wiring.
Seriously?
So, yes.
So when that actually it's dangerous, and people term it as dangerous and barbaric. And these women actually, let me say it might work, but do they really need to do that for them to lose weight? I'll start with you, Simon.
Let me say this. I agree with anything that keeps women that much more quiet. It's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind even you guys want to wire your jaws as if you speak less, because I know even your jaw, you keep quiet a lot more often. Good for me. Peace on earth. And that means less noise. We already have enough public transport noise anyway. But now here's the thing. Locking your jaw, wiring your jaw means that it's an invasive thing that actually goes into your mouth and actually now limits you from opening your mouth any wider. Now, if people are willing to go this far to actually even lose weight, that means that people are willing to go to extremes for shortcuts. Because literally now when you wire your jaw, that means you cannot even take anything solid. You're just taking fluids only. That's the whole mindset of that. Limiting you because you can only take fluids only. And then it goes even further. Anybody who's wiring their jaw shut, do you know what's up with them? They're saying that anytime I open my mouth, I just feel like putting food in my mouth. That is a disorder. That is not an order, that is a disorder. That is actually a disorder in the sense that the only thing when you open your mouth, is putting food in your mouth, and then you just want to dance sword. Seriously. That is all you're thinking all the time. Instead of anything of content coming out of your mouth, you just want to shove things into your mouth. So literally now, that's the stage in which people have reached, to the extent that they want to put limitations to actually now even block their disorder. But even going further, why don't they even follow even someone like you, Maria? Maria even has weight loss plans here, and even she can actually even guide you through even weight loss planning, working out and everything. Search her, Maria. Even Maria, what's your YouTube channel?
Fit with Maria. Fit
with Maria, exactly. Be fit in mindset and also physically. Be actually fit in that you actually need something long term. Because I'm sure even you've noticed, Dr. C, when it comes to the people losing weight, what are they seeking? Diets, fast, quick things. But those things, they don't last long. They're like quick marriages nowadays that just end. But you know what lasts long? Consistency and actually being focused on your plan. What do you have to say about this? Are you trying to lock your jaw? You don't need to lose any weight.
By the way, you're trying to me to say my age.
No, you're good.
They'll actually, and that day, the day I reveal my age, I'll even write a book. Because people are going to buy, they're going to want to look like me at this age, yes.
Why don't you say your age with pride? As a lady.
That's another topic. Let's not divulge from whatever it is we are talking about. But I agree with you. It is a disorder. Yes, and there are people who have a compulsive eating disorder. People can eat until you, like what? They eat and it's like, that's another thing. Like there's a satiety center in the brain that tells your body and your brain that you're full. So there's various ways of actually working with the brain to ensure that you don't eat a lot. But what people don't understand that actually whether your size, the weight, it's one of those things that are so elusive to the human being, and scientists are really working at it. The issue of weight, but also the issue of how long somebody lives. Yes, yeah. There's a Methuselah project where people just don't want to die and they want to live. But there's also the issue of weight. So one of the things the scientists have actually discovered that your eventual weight is actually genetically determined. And what determines it is a kind of bacteria in your digestive system. So what they found is that there are some people, if they just even smell food like this, you eat something like this, the bacteria in the tummy really digests it, and so it's so efficient And then now you have the big fat cells and you just continue adding. So now the new frontier in weight management is not just Ozempic alone, but they are looking at, people have been cutting, there are many other things people are doing. They're cutting intestines, they're doing all those things. Yeah, they go for surgery. Then you're like reducing the stomach, they cut part of your intestines to reduce the amount of food you're eating. But it has not worked. That weight has always piled back. So what seems to be working is probiotics, the bacteria. So there's a business, by the way, of just thin people going to keep their poo, you keep your poo, you keep your poo, and they actually take, in the factory, manufacture probiotics, and now, out of the people who've had the surgery, that bacteria is put from thin people to these people who are actually adding weight. It's a real disease.
How do you put that inside them?
Surgically.
Hey,
and those people, after that, they've been shown for the weight to actually stay off longer. So these things of, oh, I don't know, you're putting what, tummy trainer, you're putting, these people are just, but these are things humanity has tried. You know, wiring your jaw, some people, whatever, some people don't even, they just eat a morsel like that. But it's an exercise in futility. But that said, there's also diseases where somebody, we're talking of mindsets, yeah? There's people who actually look at themselves in the mirror, they are thin, yes, but they just see a fat person.
Anorexia.
That's anorexia. It's a mindset disease also, where your mind just thinks you're fat, and there's nothing that can happen. Yeah? But the whole thing is about recognizing your genes, being happy with who you are, but also recognizing that, you know, there's such diseases as diabetes and hypertension, and it has been shown that people who are bigger,
of course,
naturally actually have these lifestyle diseases. So doing something about it. There's nothing funny about being really large.
Okay, I know there's nothing funny about being really large, but I will say this. There's also something called a body type. There's someone who will eat, like for example, if you give me a bowl of fries, actually I'll be feeling that I'm growing. Like I'll be feeling myself. I gain weight so fast and I lose it so fast. That is me.
Wow.
But there's someone who will eat and eat and eat, they don't gain weight as much as that fast. And then there are these ones who, they gain weight, their way of gaining weight is fast, but their way of losing it is really slow. So you find that sometimes when you look at your body and you understand your body in that aspect, it will be easier for you to know which method to use best. For example, diets work best for those who can gain it fast and lose it very slowly. So you will have to make sure you don't overdo. For these who eat fast and lose fast, you just make sure that your cardio game is very okay. And for these others who can eat and don't gain weight, just stay healthy. Like, eat in a way that you're staying healthy. So me, what I'll say is, first of all, acceptance is very important. Because as women, before you wear your jaw, understand, there is the hormonal weight gain that is not talked about as much. There is also the weight gain that comes with having babies. That's something that people don't mention as much. Because you did not gain that weight in a month. So wearing your jaw, for you to lose that weight in a month, is actually torturing your body. Your body will not be getting the nutrients it needs. There's also the fact that as women, different times of the months, our bodies react differently. And I'm saying that as a person who is so into fitness. There are days in a month where I cannot do cardio. My body cannot just do cardio. Like, I'm just so tired, I'm not feeling it. And I understand it. And those are the days that I would feel like I am not in my fit state. And there are days in a month whereby cravings come. Like for a woman, there are days that you just want chocolate, you just want the cake. It happens. That said, discipline is very important. And when your blood sugar spikes, you'll obviously be craving and craving and craving. And if you realize that when you eat, you want more. When you don't eat, you never feel the feeling of I want more when you've not eaten. It's when you taste the food that now you feel like, now I want more. So the eating disorder, yes, but if people would consistently be disciplined, it will work. But also understand your body. Yes, hypertension and diabetes comes from big people most of the time. But if you are fit, like look at your health, look at what you do, look at how many, is your body active? Do you walk or is car, elevator, car bed that way? Are you at least active? Or do you even tell yourself, let me clean my house? At least that's also something you can call fitness. It doesn't need to be hard things in the gym. It just needs to be something that you can condition yourself to be consistent about and eat healthy. Avoid so much sugar and wheat and all these things. Just try and add more vegetables in your plate. Because at this point, you have to understand that, for example, I can never be a size 4. And I know that. I can, even if I dare to what level, my genes cannot allow me to be a size 4. But there's someone who will be a size 4 all their life.
Makes sense.
So,
but also asking ourselves, I see what you're saying, asking ourselves a very important question. Do we eat to live or are we alive to eat?
Yeah, like,
And that's a
What
very...
What do you do?
Me, I eat to stay alive. I don't... you know, these days, let's meet over coffee, let's meet over lunch.
Yeah.
Food is a form of a lifestyle.
Yes.
And now we've forgotten, actually, that githeri, our ancestors were eating that food for a certain reason. And I just remember my grandmother saying that you must eat that mahayo, which is the mahayo, the githeri. Githeri is Kikuyu. Let me say it in a language that a lot of people will understand.
sacotash.
Or if you're in the farm, you're going to be for a long time, or at that time when she was alive, you are walking a long journey and you don't know when you reach there would be food or no food. They had no fridges. Therefore, they had those food combinations, a carbohydrate and protein. Look at the food combinations. And then also how we are eating. How are you eating githeri before you go to sleep? Which farm are you going to be working on? Okay, I know some people are working really hard.
Githeri for supper. Dr. C, I ate githeri for supper last night.
You ate, but you see, that's a very wrong food combination.
Why? You're not supposed to eat githeri for
Because,
supper?
you know, there's a whole, if you're going to get into this whole thing, by the way, that doctor means I went to school.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a whole, something about food, how fast food is digested. Like, for example, fruit. In 40 minutes, it's digested. Therefore, advise you eat it early in the morning and get it off with, or you eat it before you eat a large meal. Now, if you're eating a large meal, carbohydrate and protein will take a minimum of 6 hours to be digested. So the best way is that you eat carbohydrate with vegetable, or you eat protein with vegetable. Don't combine protein and carbohydrate together. I know it's controversial, but our great-grandfathers knew it. When you look at those kind of foods, that food is staying like for more than 6 hours. So you ate it at lunchtime. In the evening, you're going to, again, put food in your body. In the morning, you're eating this breakfast like a king. By the way, don't. Because you're cheating, your body goes into this artificial diabetes. Like there's too much, so the body has to save the glycogen here, all these things. So our bodies are suffering.
I get what you mean.
You know?
Even for one thing, even we forgot to even add is even age. Because even me, as I'm getting older, in my age, even I realize even because I'm getting older. But the main thing is, what I've seen is that it's actually even harder to lose some weight, and you actually even have to even check yourself, or even what you even partake of. Now you see, you said live to eat versus eat to live. There are times where you just want to eat to live. Live to eat, because now then you become a foodie depending on what's on your plate. That dynamic is depending on what's on your plate. Because if your favorite food is right there, boss, you're not eating to live, you're just living to eat. And that is the truth. It sometimes depends what's actually on your plate and what's actually, and even the extent even of hunger that you have. That is the truth. But if your favorite meal was here, you're eating you're living to eat.
No, let me say something. You know something, Dr. C? What you said about, you said something about mixing the carbohydrates and the protein. Sacotash. My son actually is the one who taught me that word.
Oh.
I don't know English. So when it comes to that, you find that some people, it's a favorite to many people. You
what?
See?
The githeri?
The githeri. It's a favorite to many people.
But have we asked ourselves why our grandfathers came up with that kind of food?
But you know,
there was so much science in them. We think they didn't know, but they knew. They knew because you don't know when the next meal is coming. Right now, we are not running away from any wild animal.
And that's why
we are not.
That's why I say this. You see, like for example, you said that we meet for coffee and anything. Okay, for me, I love if I'm meeting someone, let's do an activity. I don't know why. Like, are we meeting for swimming? Are we meeting for bowling? Are we meeting for an activity? You see, if people embraced that more, they can eat anything they want. easily because they will not be eating the whole day throughout the meetings they had.
That's true.
And avoid elevators, use the stairs.
Always, even if you're going to the 17th floor,
Yes,
up to your
stairs.
ex because she knows that she left you behind and you're busy there listening to love songs. And that's what a lot of men are doing nowadays. And that is the truth. Let me tell you guys, by the way, apparently, there's a study that goes on. You see these men that are watching us here? You see those men? Even some of these cameras.
Behind the
people out
cameras.
here. Yeah, some of them. Even some of them wearing yellow. We're not pointing fingers. But then now the thing is, some of these men, what happens is, us. So we're busy out there. You know, after Valentine's Day, we try to impress you girls. And then what happened was, some girls, you know, sometimes we men forget. Some guys forgot even Valentine's Day. So what happened was, the ladies, they decided to go on a date with someone else, or even decided to expand their boundaries because ladies will now say that they got options. And then now what happens is, guys are just busy to listening to what? Heartbreak my heart, say you love me again. Nyamaza wewe. That's what they're doing. It's saying that true story. They say that more men right now listening to sad songs, heartbreaking songs.
According to Spotify.
Yes, than even girls here in Kenya. Before I say my thoughts, because I got a lot to say about this, let me hear what you guys had to say about now the fact that indeed men are being heartbroken more or because of you.
No, it's not because of us.
Yeah.
First of all, men
What?
are becoming too soft. Why are you listening to Heartbreak song?
Yeah.
Just go look for another person, spend your money on.
But you told us to show our feelings.
So you're
Become vulnerable.
No.
You told us to express ourselves.
vulnerable
And
to a
then
point
now
that you're showing Spotify. Like
Yeah.
you're going to showcase your vulnerability to Spotify.
Spotify picks up our data.
Yeah,
That's
go date Spotify. This is the point.
it. Guys. But,
So
Go ahead.
women, so I don't know how Spotify got the data in the first place, because I could be using your account to listen to that Heartbreak song, and if I'm using your account, they are counting you as the one who is heartbroken. When in real sense, I could not afford Spotify, I'm using your account. So maybe more men are not using Spotify, more men are not crying. It's more men have subscribed to Spotify for their girlfriends with their names. So we are crying, but they are the one listed by Spotify, they are the ones who are crying. Spotify, we are sorry, men are not crying, we are using their gadgets. This is another thing. I don't think that when someone is heartbroken, it's because, I don't think women are the one people that will make you so heartbroken that you're going to listen to love songs all through and through. You have your own issues, your own problems. There's a rise in unemployment. There's a lot of issues in the society right now. We are all suffering. Please, men, pull up your socks. Stop being so vulnerable and go look for a life.
we didn't even get socks of Valentine's.
Get a life.
What are we
Get a
doing now?
life.
Go ahead on this thing before I say anything.
I think there's more men who are spited in the society. And talking of the Spotify data, by the way, if I know well, music is one of those things that really speaks to someone's soul. And even in my family, yes, we have the same Spotify account, but everybody has their own
Playlist.
Everybody has their own playlist, so they know.
Is
So
the- is
that
to interrupt
data
you for a
is
second,
correct.
To interrupt you for a second, you listen in the radio or in your phones?
On many gadgets, once you pay for a family subscription, we are on
can-
premium, and we can get, my daughter can get
So
hers.
it's not in the living room, the radio.
Wait, let's go back to the main
No,
point.
actually, just for clarification, if it's about you want everybody to hear, there's piped music.
Okay, continue. As
They're
you
talking
were.
about piped
As
music,
you
so
were.
that mindset is taken care
It's
of.
taken care of. I wanted to hear
Yes,
that mindset.
modern homes these days come with piped music.
I wanted to hear that because
Yeah,
I want,
and
so
also
that I
you
don't
can play-
invest in a woofer.
But but what I'm saying, the hoovers, what hoovers or hoofers?
Woofer.
Hoofers.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, forget that.
So
Go ahead.
men, I think men are feeling spited, a lot of men, because there are more ladies who are really, they don't want to go, more ladies, when you look at especially the middle class, the ladies seems to be doing more, and that's why there are more single ladies, because a lot of single ladies don't want to marry down. Yeah? So men are feeling more spited, and that's why they are listening to that kind of music.
I
Boy
see.
child, weka bidii.
Alafu badala waweke bidii wanaenda kusikiza music.
Now here's the thing.
This kababa thing.
Let me speak now. As a male representative here, we gotta speak for the men. Now the key thing is when it comes to the men even going to music for their own like therapy and everything, I think this is very healthy. In the sense that these are men who are not drinking. These are men who have decided that indeed, let me rush to his music because now women have become very vicious. And in the sense that a woman nowadays, even is in part, you can say, even as you mentioned, even the dynamics in which now women are only part even financially, it's when a woman even has even more money than you, even in the dynamics of a relationship, it can become very disrespectful very fast in that situation. But I also view it in this way. As a man, you don't stop there. You don't stop at listening to little sad songs there and feeling all bad and everything. You don't stop there at feeling bad because some lady even disrespected you, even said that indeed you're not adequate, you can't live up, you're not even valid, even you're not up to a certain standard. You as a man, now it's upon you to act. Your job is not to sit there and start screaming break my heart and everything and start even sending out roses. Stop. Get a hold of yourself. What kind of nonsense are you doing here? You're losing even your masculinity in yourself. Get yourself together and actually take action for yourself. And an issue that I see a lot, when a man is heartbroken, they want to prove themselves to the person that broke their heart, that indeed that now they're actually making progress in their lives, when that person that you're trying to prove to is not even paying attention. Do not bother trying to impress someone who was in your past. Leave them, and actually now how you actually get better is focusing in actually bettering yourself for you and the people that actually care about you. Because even the biggest form of responsibility, if someone who's even credible, even as a man, is that you're not only responsible for yourself. That's only for boys. That you're responsible even for more that's even beyond you. Are you responsible for those in your family? Are you responsible for anybody, anybody underneath you, even being in a management scene, or even being in a workplace, even beyond, even friendships? How are you responsible beyond even yourself? That would then now get you beyond sitting there, taking your Samantha's wine, screaming, unbreak my heart. Now you've even drunk the whole bottle, and then you have no action that you want to take for yourself. Stop that right there and learn to take action for yourself, not necessarily trying to prove it to anybody else. Because the only credibility that you need to prove to is yourself and those people who actually care about you, and they've shown it through action. Now, flipping it to the girls. Now you girls out here, just because you have more money than someone you're in a relationship with does not mean that you cannot show respect to that person. Now that dynamic...
Everybody knows that.
No, not everybody knows that. There are all the foolish people out there who knows that. So you have high-level conversations. Let me speak to the Lord. Not everybody knows that. That is not always the truth. The thing is, in a lot of poverty-minded ladies out there, who actually now, you can have a very positive poverty mindset and have a very full bank account. That is the truth. And you should know that. And just because you have more money than the man that you are with right now does not mean that you should not show that man any sense of respect. All right?
Where is that coming from?
Hey, no, listen. Because disrespect in the sense that it will come very subtly. And it will come very subtly in the sense that it can just be small, subtle things in the sense that you do not know how to end when it comes to the house, how things are actually even run, and how even you guys will show respect to one another. Because even pushing down the man that you are with does not make you look any better.
But the
it
man
makes you
could
look
be
even
projecting.
worse. It makes you look even worse.
The man could be projecting. I could be respecting you, but you're projecting. Because you feel sorry for yourself, or you want to make it look like I'm not treating you right.
Learn to communicate to one another. Not necessarily now starting to defend and
We
saying
also
that.
know that men don't hear what we say.
Wait, no, you don't know how to communicate for a man to hear. That's the problem. Not you don't hear what you say. You don't know how to communicate for a man to hear. That is the problem. You just want to shout.
I don't think there's a woman out there who would choose a man and then start treating that man like, as in, I'm not respecting you, or
they do.
I've understood. Now you don't. I will not realize you don't.
It's there.
I will.
It's there.
That is something I need to know in the streets so
Huh?
that I can make the decision. Like, if I want someone with money, I'll know in the streets, then I'll make the decision if I'm staying with you or not.
Actually,
but I cannot take you with your brokenness and then get home and then start acting like, oh, now you are broke. It's not news. I knew. So I'm supposed to treat you right regardless.
Yes, you're supposed to, but many people don't. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And I'm addressing that. The many people that don't. Those are the few you're speaking to. Many people don't, and what you have to recognize is the disrespect that's usually advocated towards men is, look, now you make fun of the man, and then you start saying, well, watch your jinka, why are you staying yourself in that situation? I'm even pointing the finger to you as a woman. Hold yourself accountable and start respecting that man that you actually chose to be in a relationship with. If you choose to disrespect a man, leave that man alone. The same way I'm going to tell a man who disrespects his woman. Why are you disrespecting your woman and you chose her?
That's,
That is the truth, don't you see?
Is this even a topic?
Yeah, that's the truth. No, because
I'm
that
just
happens a
looking
lot.
at you and I'm just like, you know, disrespect is just disrespect.
yeah.
You know, there are people who actually, all of them don't have money and they just disrespect, or they respect each other, or they both have money and they just disrespect each other.
It's even,
And even the reverse is true, you know.
how would you react if you actually came in and you heard your husband listening to heartbreaking songs?
If that's his taste of music, what's the problem?
That's his types of music. No, being real. If you came in and you started hearing a bunch of, the whole Tony Braxton album is playing right there on rotation, is there a message he's trying to send you or something? Like, if you started hearing that.
I've never thought of it.
Yeah, because now even, like, can you
You know,
imagine?
like I've never really thought of it. Yeah, and yes, the kind of music your spouse is playing can sometimes, you know, like there are times when I actually don't want to listen to, say, Mozart, Requiem. Mm-hmm. And there are people who just like that music. Sometimes I don't want to listen to opera, and he's playing opera, and he likes that music. It's just, so I'm lucky in the sense that his taste of music is completely
Good.
you know, I wouldn't say good is about how you think. It's just about you know, classical, and it's a certain era. Who cares about Romeo and Juliet? And I don't know who. It's Sleepless in Peking.
Yes.
You know, Nisanda. Who cares about that? It's just, you know. But yeah, I've never thought about it. But even though, for example, with the Luyas, we have this song called Mukangala. Mukangala le hosana le musamba le mukangala.
I've been singing it
It's about
all
this
my
guy.
life.
It's about this guy who is pretending to be the owner of the home, and but it's just funny. That music is funny. So if I found, say, if I was married to a Luya guy and I found him playing that kind of music, it speaks of the life in the village and just among it's very cultural. But I've never thought of, if your spouse is listening to heartbreak music,
Yeah.
has somebody else broken his heart? I never thought of it. Have you?
My husband
Maria?
my husband loves rumba and country, and I don't find sense in those on all of them.
Wow. So,
Okay, like how do I sit down to listen to rumba? Surely, in fact, you'll find us in the car, no music. I would rather give him stories. That is how we have our elevated conversations, just to avoid the music.
if I came in hearing my girl playing heartbreak music, boss, there's something wrong. That's just a real... There's something wrong.
Simon, let me tell you something.
Going.
One of my favorite songs
Yeah.
is Irreplaceable by Beyonce. So if you find me listening to it, you think I've already replaced you.
Not even that. I don't even think that tomorrow you're throwing all my clothes out and everything. That's just me keeping it real. Now the see, isn't that where we keep it real?
Yes.
Would you wrap up the show for us and tell them to come next week?
Well, it has been so real,
Yes.
so real.
Cheers to
and
that.
Yeah, today I think this week,
Yeah.
even as we cheer, we put it down first.
Go
Just, you know, pay respect to Chebukati, the late Chebukati. Condolences to the country and his family. And Simon, you asked a question. The day you die, who will know you have died? Let's discuss it next week.
How about that?
Yes. Who will know? Yeah. Anyway.
So you guys are making me overthink.
Yes. Yeah. That is something to think of. Anyway, on a happier note.
Yes.
Cheers. Cheers to Samantha Wine. Buy Kenya, build Kenya.
Cheers to that. See you next week.
Samantha Wines, now available in all the leading wine stores.